We have a $40 donation from Ryan Schindler. He says, "Greetings, guys. I have donated the last 2 marathons and will continue to for as long as I can. I have lost many family members due to cancer, including one on New Year's Day. Here's to hoping we can speedrun a cure for cancer and end it once and for all. And kill the animals and save the frames. Also, Final Fantasy VII hype." Rar Phoenix gave $50 and said, "Loving this AGDQ. Wish it could never end." And we have a donation from Benny Le Penguin, who says, "Thank you guys, you're awesome." And that was $50. Thank you very much. Remember, keep the donations coming in. We need to race to get to this donation goal. So please keep them in. Remember, we do have all the naming incentives for Final Fantasy VII coming up, which, by the way, you haven't seen that run. Be sure to check that out. We've got Dark Souls 2 going on, and we have met that donation incentive for the glitched run. We have save or kill the animals coming up. So, it's up to you if you're going to kill them, if you're going to save them, okay? I personally want to kill them. If you're going to give it to my choice, they're dead, okay? But if you don't want that, then go ahead and donate against me, boys and girls. Actually, everyone. For your information, Save the Animals is at 61.9K, and Kill is at 49.4K. Oh, that's a lot of Ks. So if you want them dead, which, by the way, the little emote that you get if we're able to kill them is fantastic. If you want them dead, bring the donations in. If you want to save them, you're going to have a lot of competition. Right towards the end, we usually have a huge wave coming for saving or killing them, so please bring that in. I don't care about that GDQ monitor. Oh, Pete. Oh, yeah, great. No, I love that. I do care about that, actually. I very much care about that. Thank you, GDQ monitor. 100K plus spin on animals. Thank you, thank you. You better watch it, GDQ monitor. I'm looking at you. Oh. Just kidding, I love you. We should totally be, like, friends. Can take you to dinner, GDQ monitor. Do you like pasta? Maybe chips? Sadly, our romance has come to the end, and we are getting closer to our Dark Souls 2 run coming up next. Now, this is a game that has absolutely demolished me. Unfortunately, I have not finished it, and I know there are probably many people in the room who have also not finished it either. And so, luckily, we have someone who knows what they're doing to show us how to do it. Remember, jot down your strats while you're watching this. Take a look at what happens to these bosses. You're going to be in disbelief what happens.
Anyway, I did Ritzmitz once. That was a bad idea.
That's a bad idea.
We are live. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
What's up?
Hello.
Oh, you ruined it.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
No, it's like this. Are we
Alright.
on yet? I don't even know.
Just looking at the donation, or the tech station, are we good to go at the moment?
Are we getting game sound?
Okay, right now we're just looking at some random person in the audience.
seen
Wave
this
to them,
episode
be
of
sure to
Blue's Clues.
smile.
Okay, can I get off the
Forgot I had
couch,
mic.
please?
I'll save all my good jokes for when I'm on mic.
You're stuck here.
There we go. Okay, that person was pretty awesome too.
Yeah.
You have no sound. There's no sound right now.
Make sound.
There should be sounds coming out, but there's nothing.
Yeah.
there- when you scroll through the menu, it makes the...
Yeah, it goes
Yeah, when
bleep
you go
bloop,
to the
blop
menu,
bleep,
yeah.
bloop blop. I can just make the sounds
Yeah.
for the rest of the run.
Eso vi la pulpo.
Okay, Bubbles, you're the sounds of the game.
Beep bop, slash slash, poke poke. Everyone, spoilers, by the way.
Don't look.
Okay, so here we're... Wait. No, we didn't start yet.
Yeah. Good. This is rehearsal.
No, we can do it twice. Oh wait, we are doing it twice.
That's true.
If you wanted, during the setup, I still have some donations to read out.
Is it Street Fighter?
Turn it up all the way. Yeah, and let them adjust it.
It's Dark Fox?
Can you hear it, Logan?
Alright.
Are you okay with that?
Okay.
You can't hear it? Oh, there we go.
Epic.
Alright, just whenever you're ready, you guys give a countdown.
Guess they're not ready. Huh?
Wait, if Bro Sencha wants to give a countdown?
Of course I do. All right, well, let's go ahead and do the countdown and start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Yay!
Alright, so this is Dark Souls 2 on the current patch. There are 3 categories for Dark Souls 2 that are really played. One is all bosses, another is current patch, another is 90% glitched. After this run, you're going to get to see Nubist run 90% glitched, assuming the incentive has been met. So
It has.
yeah, definitely stick around for that, because that is a totally different run and really cool to watch. But this category pretty much mostly closely follows what it's like to just play Dark Souls normally, because they've patched out almost every glitch. There are quite a few that we don't use and one that we do use. Actually, is this glitchless? I forget. Alright, so this is current patch. There's glitches, current patch are pretty much the same thing, so don't worry about it.
As a starting class, you pick the Explorer because you get a lot of useful items when you start as the class, and as a starting gift, you can take the Bonfire aesthetic because that is very, very necessary for the run. The items you get as Explorer is 10 life gems, 8 witching urns, 4
Aromatic ooze.
yes, and some other stuff that you don't really need, but I mean, you have it, so whatever.
Yeah, so for most of the run, Oginam is going to be naked, partly because I'm sure he likes how it looks, and mostly because the higher your equip load is, the slower your stamina regenerates. It's a pretty small difference, but you barely use armor for anything, like taking less damage basically doesn't matter since you, for the most part, just plan on never getting hit. So unequipping all your stuff lets you run more often, attack more often.
And the first thing he'll be doing here when he gets to the main area of the game, the Majula, like this is like the central hub, he kills the shopkeeper here. He's not just doing for fun. The clothes that he drops actually give you more souls every time you kill an enemy. So the goal in this run is actually to get a lot of souls to progress through the game. So he really, really needs these clothes, otherwise he won't have enough souls to finish the game.
Yeah, so long as he has the clothes on after the boss dies, then he gets the extra souls from it. So for pretty much every single boss that he's going to fight for the first half of the game at least, he's going to be wearing those clothes and getting that bonus.
Yeah, and he also talked to the Emerald Herald, who is the level up character in this game. The NPC, you always have to talk to her if you want to level up, and then he'll lit the bonfire. When you light a bonfire in this game, it becomes warpable from every other bonfire in the game. So now that he lit the bonfire, and if he's going to light another one, he can warp from that bonfire to this one whenever he feels like it.
And right now he just has to wait for the gate to open, so he's doing some inventory management to make stuff easier to mess around with later on.
He drops the clothes in his inventory that aren't the Seldora set. So when he re-equips the armor after the boss fights, the cursor will automatically be on the piece of clothing that he wants.
He's also two-handing his offhand weapon, which is why his hands are sort of clasped in a fist to his left. The reason behind that is that whenever you pick up an item, there's an animation that plays, and that animation is somewhat faster if you're two-handing your offhand weapon. So whenever he picks up an item, he's going to be doing this to make that animation shorter.
Just like in the first game, Dark Souls 1, the ordinary horrors are actually quite dangerous, mostly because they can interrupt your actions here. Like getting through the fog gate isn't instant as in the first game. If you get hit while in the animation, you get interrupted, but he got it through here fine. If you had got hit there, it would have been actually really bad.
Yeah, that wasn't the best RNG, but luckily he didn't get hit. One of those hollows that hits him right when he's by the door can spawn in a random location. But it was okay.
And here, if you lose all your stamina while climbing the ladder, you actually fall down, and that is really bad also. Now he's approaching the next NPC, Merchant, and another bonfire, which he will light. He will buy a club and fire bombs from the Merchant, and then light the bonfire. The fire bombs are used to, well, the fire bomb is used to blow up this wall. Hopefully... Okay,
Yeah.
there we go, nice.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah, that's the only glitch in the run, pretty much. You only get one chance to do it, because you only have one firebomb. If you don't get that, you lose like 15 seconds, but he got it very well, so you're fine with that.
Yeah, just due to the nature of the game, you can't have save states, you don't have saved games, so if you mess up, you're stuck with it. So if you use a consumable item and then you die, or you use the consumable item doesn't do anything, then you don't get another shot at it. So any mistake is typically very punishing in this game. It's not necessarily a very difficult run, although it certainly has difficult parts, but it is absolutely a very punishing run, because if you make a mistake, you have to make up for that. There's no way to just go back and try it again.
Coming up now is the first boss of the run. He uses the club that he bought and the ooze that he starts with to, well, beat the boss basically. The witching urns are also useful because they don't consume any stamina, while hitting the normal hits do consume stamina. So while he's waiting for the stamina to return, you can throw witching urns to do some extra damage.
So long as he stays near the giant speed, he'll pretty much always use stomp attacks, and those are very easy to see coming and dodge. So it's not a terribly difficult fight, and doing it perfectly still feels really good.
The attacks you want are either the really slow swipe, the really slow stomp, or especially during his arm ripping off animation about halfway through his health bar. You can get a lot of hits in there.
Yeah, and that was pretty much a perfect fight. There were no bad attacks, and he didn't miss anything, so
Yeah.
that was pretty much perfect.
You can kind of manipulate the RNG on the fight there and his attacks depending on where you stand. Like, so on the inside of the ankles, you'll do almost the same thing each time.
Now he's gonna buy some more items from the merchant, because once you spend 10,000 souls on the merchant, she gives you a ring that gives you even more souls, and that is also very, very much required for the route, otherwise it won't work. Other items that he bought was the blacksmith key, that he needs to access the blacksmith in the Medulla, the main hub area, and 3 bright bucks. Bright bucks are items that increase your damage by 20% and your defense by 20% when you use them for like 90 seconds or so. They are very, very powerful, as you will later on see when they get used. He's going to use them on the more difficult or more higher health bosses, so they're not coming into play yet, but, well, next boss is coming up right now.
This is a really fun boss, especially when we found out very early on in speedrunning this. These ballistas do a good amount of damage.
So by rolling there, he's able to bait
Nice.
the Pursuer into a ranged attack, and then the Pursuer just stands still with the ranged attack and gets hit by the Ballista.
Pretty good. He can miss that really easily. The Pursuer could just casually stroll away from the arrows, and the whole fight can just go downhill really fast.
The only reason he's gonna go over here is to pick up the bonfire, and then he's just gonna warp away and proceed to other places in the game. He's gonna get back here later, and he's also gonna pop the soul. He also popped the soul of the giant lord, not giant lord, last giant, and that was the soul of the purser. They give you extra souls. There are items you can use, and now, well, he's just gonna use those souls now, and they are also very much required to get all the souls you need.
Yeah.
The soul amount you get in this route is very tight. If you miss even one piece of armor or having the ring on or whatever, you won't make it. So it's very important to have them on.
Accidentally buy the wrong thing.
Well,
Yeah.
that's not as bad because you can just do without the thing. But like if you miss the soul armor equip, you get less souls, and then you can't actually even finish the game.
Yeah.
So the important part about that level up is he got 12 dexterity. That's the minimum amount of dexterity required to wield the rapier. The rapier is the weapon he's going to be using for about half the game. It has a lot of counter damage and really good dexterity scaling, so it's just overall the most powerful weapon you can get early on, and you can just buy it from the blacksmith, so it's really easy to get. He uses 6 Titanite shards that he just bought from the blacksmith to level it up to +3, which allows it to deal even more damage. He grabbed the short bow there, which he's going to use in the DLC to hit a few switches, along with some arrows that he just bought at the blacksmith. And now he's heading on to the cat, Shalakar, whatever her name is.
War. I don't know how to pronounce it.
She likes how you smell.
Yes.
She can spawn in many places in the room. That was just one of many.
Yeah, he's buying Homeward Bones, Luring Skulls, and the Silver Cat Ring. The Silver Cat Ring is required to do these drops in the well. They come very, very close to killing him.
We
but
promise he won't die.
with good timing, it's pretty consistent, but if you mess up, then you're dead.
Yeah, these drops are actually pretty precise, but
You got him.
down here there's a Titanite lizard. He drops one large Titanite shard, which will be used to upgrade the rapier. And, well, the easiest way to kill him is just hitting him twice with the club. If the Titan lizard gets too far away from you, like runs away too long, it just disappears, and you have to go back to bonfire to get it again. So good to not miss this.
Down here on the way down to the Rotten, there's many paths you can take on the way to the Rotten, but the one that we found actually includes a semi-tough jump. It'll be coming up in a second. You'll know when you see it. Getting that safety bonfire for a reason. Doesn't have to go to that bonfire later on at all.
Yeah, the jumps in this game are very, very much not consistent at all. Sometimes you just don't jump as far, and it's not very clear as to
There we
why.
go.
Nice, nice.
We've got a $2,500 donation,
Oh.
actually. Leicester says, praise the run.
Praise the run. That jump saves about 7.5 seconds. Just jumping over to the bottom of the ladder alone saves about 2.5, but not actually climbing the ladder at all saves about an extra 5.
The item he picked up there was the Fragrant Branch of Yore. It can be used to, well, the only use for it is to unpetrify NPCs, and that's needed to get through an area later on. These poison statues here, they will poison you in 2 hits, and poison in this game is very strong, so you really don't want that to happen.
By the way, we just passed $700,000 in straight donations. We also have Humble Bunny, nice.
Humble
Bundle money coming in, so be sure to keep donating. We want to beat $1 million this year again. We want to pass what we had, so please, please keep the donations coming in.
Alright, so here's the fight with the Rotten. He's actually been doing this fight 4 times over the course of the run, with 3 of which come later, 1 of which comes now. The main resource that he has to manage in this fight is stamina. After every one of Rotten's attacks, you have a certain number of attacks that you can safely get in before Rotten can get out his next one. And sometimes you choose to take all of them, and sometimes you choose to use one less just so you have enough stamina to roll the next attack if it comes out quickly.
At this health, he should die in one hit, provided he gets hit.
No, he can take one hit with the Bright Bug.
On the okay, yeah. Later on though, in these New Game Plus Rottens, it's yeah.
Yeah, later on he's gonna use a ring that gives him more damage below when he's below 30% health, so one hit's gonna kill him.
During a grab attack, every boss has a bit more, or it has a lot of armor, so you have to delay your attacks after a grab attack so that it will deal full damage. That was a good thing.
So you have about like 5 seconds or so after killing a boss before the souls appear in the bottom right, so he has that short amount of time to equip the armor. If he didn't drop the armor from later on, he would have to put in 8 more inputs into his menu to do that, and that might have cost him the time slot.
Alright, so since he's going to the DLC, we're going to talk about the route for a little bit for why he's doing these things in the order he's doing. The main obstacle for routing out this game is the Shrine of Winter. The way that the game tells you have to open the Shrine of Winter in order to progress through the game.
Yeah, and the normal way to open it, like the intended way, is to collect the 4 old souls. And those are dropped by Rotten, Last Sinner, Duke's Dear Freya, and Old Iron King.
But then the way that we're going to use in the speedrun is the other way to open the Shrine of Winter, which I don't think the game ever explicitly tells you, but was still programmed in, where you need to collect 1 million soul memory. So you don't actually need 1 million souls on you, you just need to have collected a total of 1 million souls throughout the game. And doing that is a lot easier and faster than collecting the 4 old souls. So the way in which we collect that total of 1 million souls is we kill Rotten 4 times.
And the way you can kill Rotten 4 times is by using Bonfire Aesthetics. That's the starting gift he started with, and he's going to pick up 2 extra. One in the DLC and one in the Bastille area that he got the bonfire earlier from.
Whenever you use a bonfire aesthetic, you use them at bonfires and burn them at bonfires, and that levels up the area associated with that bonfire to the next level of New Game Plus. So he's going to burn the bonfire aesthetic at the secret bonfire in Black Gulch, which will respawn Rotten in New Game Plus. And then he'll fight Rotten, burn another one to get it to New Game Plus Plus. So he'll get the souls from fighting Rotten in New Game Plus, New Game Plus Plus, New Game Plus Plus Plus, which in total gives you, I think, somewhere around 700 or 800,000 souls, which is almost enough to get the 1 million soul memory, and then just the rest of the souls you get throughout the run gets you up to that 1 million.
Yeah, the New Game Plus and further Rottens also drop an extra soul apart from the Soul of the Rotten, called the Soul of the Dead one, and that actually gives you 75,000 per pop, and you get 3 of them, so that's a really nice bonus to the souls.
You've been seeing his short bow that he picked up near the blacksmith earlier coming in handy a lot in this DLC, shooting almost like all of these buttons, even the ones that are nearby.
And here is the second bonfire aesthetic in a chest. The alluring skulls are going to come into play here. Alluring skulls lure enemies into the spot that you threw them into. It doesn't work for every enemy, but for these it does work, so if you couldn't do this, then they would just smash you while you're opening this chest. This chest is also poisoned or trapped. It's random which trap it is. It can be the poison, the arrow trap, or there's a really, really rare one that actually heals you. But yeah, that's super rare. And here's also another item he's going to bring up, the flint ring. That increases your damage the lower your vitality stat is. As long as it's under 16, you get the full bonus. So he's not going to level up any vitality, so he gets the full bonus from that.
Fighting bosses basically consists of just getting a lot of buffs for that one particular fight. So he's going to have Flynn's Ring, later on he's going to have Red Tearstone Ring, which we'll explain when he picks it up. He's going to have Ring of Blades, which he got from killing the Pursuer, which increases your physical attack. He's going to have a leveled up Rapier, and then he also has the buffs from the Ooze, and sometimes the buffs from the Bright Bug, buffs from Gold Pine Resin. So you basically just stack up a lot of these buffs in order to kill bosses very quickly.
Okay, we're back to Lost Bastille now, and the reason to come here is to get the other bonfire aesthetic, and it's after another boss fight, the Ruined Sentinels. There's 3 exactly identical boss enemies. You can fight them 3 at the same time, or 1 first and then 2. But if you kill them fast enough, you actually only have to fight one at a time. And
Yeah, similar to 4 Kings in Dark Souls 1, if you don't act fast enough, you're gonna get surrounded pretty quickly. So he has to knock out these guys very fast as soon as he sees them.
yeah, and the seemingly random items that he's picked up throughout the run, like in the gutter or the black gulch, and this one right here, are soul items that he absolutely needs to get enough souls. Those are like 2,000 souls above, but it's very, very important to reach that 1 million mark.
So when fighting the Ruin Sentinels, it's actually not a very difficult fight if you just have to fight one at a time, because I think literally every single one of their attacks can be dodged by just running around them counterclockwise. So he'll just run counterclockwise, attack, run counterclockwise, attack, and they'll go down very quickly.
The strength of the rapier here is really apparent with the counter hits. You do so much more damage with a counter hit than with a non-counter hit. The counter damage on the rapier is really, really strong.
You notice it took 8 hits to kill this first Yahim Sentinel, and that's a full bar of stamina can do full hits. And he whiffed one of the hits on his second combo, so he had to wait for it to come back up, and he couldn't optimally kill the second one. So if he got bad RNG from the second one, when it comes on the floor, he could have been surrounded by both of these guys.
Yeah, any single mistake in Sentinels basically means that you're going to have to fight 2 later on. So single mistakes are very bad, but there he was able to fight only 1 at a time and did it very quickly.
Yeah, that was a decent fight, even with the 1 hit.
Round of applause.
Good job, man.
Okay, so we're closing in on the second bonfire aesthetic. After he gets this, he's going to pick up some more items from the forest and, well, what is it called? Shaded Woods, yes, thank you. Also, here's another gate you have to wait to open. He can pop the souls he's collected here. And, well, that's pretty much that. The homeward bones are really necessary for the run, because if you use the dark sign, which is another way of teleporting back to the bonfire, you lose all the souls you have. So having the homeward bones lets you actually get a lot more out of the... Like, you could use the dark sign, but then you base level the whole game, and that would be much slower than spending like extra 2 seconds to buy the homeward bones. Not even that, but yeah.
Would now be a good time for donations?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, $25 from Bro, who says, "Hello guys, been watching since 2013. Many great runs this year as well. Thank you for yet another event." We have $50 from Raid, who says, "Donating during the Dark Souls segment to end the curse of cancer. Tell them what DS speedrunners can do to this extremely difficult game. Oginam and Nubist, and show cancer we mean business."
I don't think we've done a roll call yet, actually, so we'll do that real fast. The runner is Oginam. I'm Fearful Ferret.
I'm Nubist.
I'm Bubbles Del Fuego.
Okay, so now he leveled up some more extra souls, used to level up. He's gonna also upgrade the rapier with the large final chart. Kill the blacksmith for the extra souls, very necessary again, can't skip this. And then he's gonna buy more bright bucks and life gems for later on. And then he's also going to kill this merchant too.
Yeah, the route for collecting 1 million soul memory is very exact. Sometimes you can be short by 200 souls, at most you have 2,000 souls over, because there's some enemies during the run that will just randomly fall off cliffs and die, and you get free souls from that. So getting exactly 1 million souls is a very important part of this route, so every single enemy he kills is planned.
Like, there's a lot of math too. Leveling up, like, it's exponential in the cost of souls. So first level can cost 100, but the next one would cost like 250, and then it just keeps going higher and higher. So you have to add up each one, find out how many you get from each boss, and there's a lot of math. Luckily, we have some really, really smart people in the routing community for Dark Souls speedruns. We have Ferret, Nubis did routing, Sanso did routing, Mech Zero, Fiber,
Mr. Takahashi.
Mr. Takahashi. Let's make sure to forget everyone.
Don't forget Distortion.
Distortion 2. Ala Kazarar.
So this is a very large community full of really smart people, and it's a great pleasure to be a part of them.
And every time we're like forgetting one pronoun in this game, we've got like so many people behind us who have played this game so much that they're just popping in with the information to save our hide. So
We have a $1,300 donation. This is from Monkey Man. He says, I had to leave the marathon early this year because my grandmother passed away after a fight with cervical cancer. This donation is in her name. Praise the runners.
Okay, so here's the bonfire that's going to be used later on for warping purposes. And now he's going to go buy some, what's it called?
Gold pine
resin. Yes, thank you. And that's another weapon buff. You can, it gives you extra damage on your weapon for every hit you do. It's lightning instead of the magic that the ooze is. Another soul pick up there.
There's a chance that he'll get followed by a ghost here, which interrupts him as he's buying, but it's fairly rare, and he got lucky here, so he doesn't have to worry about it. Oh, he's not coming.
This NPC really likes to talk a lot, so you have to smash through a lot of dialogue. Now, because he has no souls left, he can use the Dark Sign to save Homer Bones. And the other thing he's going to pick up here is the Red Tearstone Ring, and after that, it's time to fight the Rottens.
The Red Tearstone Ring increases your damage by, I think, 30% whenever your health is below 25%. I don't...
No, it's
okay.
20% when your health is below 30%.
Okay.
by the way, he said 20 first and then 30 after. Just for those. Yeah.
In the first game, the Red Tearstone Ring was really overpowered. It gave you 50% attack rating boost every time you were under 20% health. And that's not damage boost, that's attack rating. It may boost your damage from anywhere to 50% to 150%, depending. So it got nerfed really hard in this game.
It's still useful enough to take the 30 seconds or so it takes to grab it.
Yeah,
it saves about 50 seconds or to a minute, and grabbing it only costs like 25, 30. So.
Yeah, so here he's burning the first bonfire aesthetic to respawn Rotten, and the Rotten fight is very easy to get a red tearstone set up on because there's fire all around Rotten, so you can just stand in it for a couple seconds and activate the red tearstone ring for the fight. So here he has like 5 or 6 things boosting his attack damage, so Rotten actually dies fairly quickly, although it's still a difficult fight, and it's a very important fight to get very good at if you plan on running this category since you have to do it so much.
Yeah, and one hit will kill you every time. So no mistakes allowed. Having more stamina here than the first time really helps, so you can get more attacks in safely. Rotten has the 3-attack combo where he smashes his cleaver 3 times. That is the worst attack probably, because you can either dodge all of them, which takes a lot of stamina, or you just stand away from him and it takes a long time and you don't get attacks in. Fight should be over now, yeah. Very
Good
solid.
When I was naming people earlier, I promise, Ella, I didn't intentionally forget your name. I just seriously remembered it now, and I know you're watching. So, Ella Jazz, if anyone wants to.
What about Lobos?
Lobos, yeah, he's played this game before.
Shots fired.
Sorry, Lobos. See you at AGDE.
I have tons of donation comments coming in whenever you're ready.
Not right now would be fine. It's the same fight pretty much.
Okay, great. We have $200 from Chain RXN, who says, love watching Oginam's DS2 runs. Praise the sun and kill cancer. Thanks to all the runners and the organizers. You guys are awesome. Kill those animals. We have $25 from Dime, who says, it's blown my mind how quickly you are beating the hardest game ever. $100 from Dan Brakely. Dan says, you're doing it wrong. Dark Souls is supposed to be hard.
This is actually pretty hard. These attacks aren't the easiest things to dodge. It took me like 45 minutes to kill Rotten my first time through this, and judging by like the small animation that he does before each attack, you'll know if it's a downward strike, if he's going to do 3 downward strikes, if that swipe's going to be followed up with a hit. So these are pretty hard.
Continue with donations.
We have a $50 donation by Captain Jingles. He says, been watching and supporting GDQ for years, but this is the first year cancer has affected my life. My grandmother recently started a battle with cancer, so this donation is for her. Thanks for everything you're doing here. It's more incredible every year. We have a $100 donation from Hollander Cooper. He says, I bet it'll be easier to beat cancer than beat this game. Wheeler94 says, with a $70 donation, is this Dark Souls prepare to kill the animals?
Rotten is pretty much an animal, so yes. We kill him 4 times.
Let's keep in mind I'm a ferret, so we know who I'm rooting for.
You'll notice the estimate, I'm pretty sure, is an hour 40. It should not take him anywhere near an hour and a half to an hour and 40 minutes. It should take him around an hour and 5, if it goes decent. So the extra addition is for the any percent run, which will be after this one, and has been met to be done by Nubist, which is in a much earlier patch, and you'll see how this game can be completely broken before they realize that they coded it poorly.
Alright.
All right. We're done with Rottens now. Time to go level up, and after that, just go beat the game. Now you can see Ogi has 500,000 souls in his inventory, and he's also going to pop the extra souls he has, so that's extra 250,000 or so.
And then we can see how many total souls he's collected on the character screen, if he would be so kind as to show us.
Or are we going to be in suspense until you get to try? There we go.
Yeah, he is
1,074,000.
So that's exactly how accurate it is. It's that 200 soul on the ground that he had to pop. That's needed.
We didn't lie. We were actually telling the truth.
So here he upgraded a little bit of vitality, which gets him a bit more health. He upgraded his endurance a long ways, which gives him tons of stamina to fight bosses with. He upgraded his dexterity a lot because we're going to be using dexterity scaling weapons for the rest of the game, so that does really good damage. He upgraded his strength, which also increases damage, and he upgraded his adaptability to 20, which increases the number of invincibility frames he gets when rolling, so it makes it a bit easier to time your dodges of bosses. And this is the last time we're going to see that really sweet armor set, so say goodbye.
Man, time to be naked for the rest of the run.
Oh, so much better.
Also,
Okay. I hope this doesn't break the Twitch TOS.
I'm kind of sad he didn't choose a female character.
one thing we haven't mentioned yet is while he's doing the menu management, he uses the auto-run feature on the PC. If you press space while on PC, your character will auto-run, and you can do running while in the menu. Normally you can't run with the controller while in the menu.
The doors he just passed through with the Shrine of Winter, which is what requires that 1 million soul memory.
Normally that door opens by itself if you have the 4 old souls, but if you have the 1 million soul memory, you have to open it yourself.
Yep, the category is current patch any percent, by the way. So he's just. I think it's.
I think
it's any percent, but it's under the current patch. So. Yeah, like 2 patches ago, they patched again.
Yeah, this is the most popular category of the game.
A lot of runners. Everyone I named off earlier. You're watching this on YouTube, rewind it, and then listen again.
It's a very active speedrun at the moment. I think the world record has been beaten 6 or 7 times in the past week.
In the past year.
Oh, what?
Wait, no, this year.
This year.
Yeah,
Ferret
this
here
year.
had the record like.
I had the record like 8 days ago, and now my time is really bad.
It was beaten by Mr. Takahashi, and then now it's currently held by a Japanese runner.
No, it's not.
Is it not? Was
no,
that not
Mr.
legitimate?
Takahashi beat it today.
Okay, he beat it again. Well, technically wasn't wrong.
Also, MTP and Art Fleury was the other one that was trading the record back and forth in there.
And then about 26 minutes, Oginam will get the world record again. So I feel bad whoever updates these leaderboards.
Whenever you're ready, I have more donations.
Go right ahead.
Awesome. War Drums gave $50 and said, I wanted to donate during the Trials Evolution run, but simply wasn't home. Let half of this money go towards killing the animals and the other half towards annihilation of the animals. Awesome event for an awesome cause.
The thing he did there at the doors was kill 2 hollow soldiers next to the cops or whatever, golems. By doing so, the souls gets absorbed by the golem and the door opens.
Yeah, that's the gimmick of this area, where there are switches that you have to kill an enemy nearby in order to activate.
And right here is the last bonfire of the game, actually. Like the last one he's gonna use when going to the last boss, but that's gonna be a bit later. There's still a lot to do before that.
Yeah, the next major obstacle is he needs to open 3 King's Gates, which he needs to collect the King's Ring to be able to do. And the King's Ring is guarded by Velstadt, so he has to fight the double Dragon Riders, he has to fight Mirror Knight, Demon of Song, and Velstadt, all just to collect the King's Ring. And then he has to pass through the 3 King's Gates and do the things after them to complete the game. You're welcome.
Yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, rewind and then mute the video for
You have time for one more donation.
Great. Hilbert Motel gave $50 and said, here's to Humble Bunny. Baby jump height.
Baby Yumps.
Baby
Shoutouts
jump.
to Sanso and Ella for their baby Yumps.
Alright, the next fight is Double Dragon Riders. There's a Dragon Rider fight earlier in the game, which we didn't do because we didn't have to, and then this one just adds a second one. The second one starts up on a platform, and it's an archer, so it has much less health, but it fires gigantic arrows at you. Fortunately, there's a very consistent way to get the second Dragon Rider to knock the first one down to the ground, and then the first one dies in 4 or 5 hits, depending on if you get counter hits. So it's actually very easy to kill the first one.
Yeah, you'd think they're on the same team, but he completely just ruins and makes it so easy to kill him.
Yeah, that's the
One is dead.
gray Dragon Rider is really weak.
Yeah.
The black box you saw earlier was an NPC invader invading his gold, but because we're speedrunning, we don't care about that, so they just ran past him, and when you get the boss, they despawn. There's going to be a few more of those during the run.
Similar to PvP, there'll be fog walls set up, and the boss fog wall would be one of them. And if you go into a boss fog wall, anybody in your area that isn't a co-op partner will go away. Luckily, it's a lot faster to be playing on your own in this game.
There's some more golem puzzles here to figure out. You need to kill an enemy next to a golem, and that will make the lift go down. And you can go up and get a key and then come back down and open the door. It's very, very...
Yeah, you should have time for about 5 donations right here, so go ahead.
Great. We have $150 from Play and Trade in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Says this is from the staff at our game store. We're watching this on all of the TVs at our store in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Dark Souls is the store favorite. Thanks for putting on such a great event for charity.
One thing here, he's gonna Dark Sign after the golem has turned the lever all the way. If he does it too early, the animation has to go through again, because the warping the bonfire resets the golem. But if he does it late enough, the lift will start coming down instantly.
And now he has to wait for this elevator to come all the way down and then go all the way up. And in the meantime, he's going to drop from a specific height on this ladder to get him to low enough health to activate the red tier stone ring for the Mirror Knight fight. Continue with donations.
We have $25 from Crayons, who says, if only I could be so grossly incandescent as Oginam. A $337.01 donation from String Epsilon, who says, oddly specific amount, plays the urn. $50 from Shoreheart, who says, finally Dark Souls 2 hype. Sadly, no Dark Souls 1 this AGDQ. Also, the couch should give their audience a short roll call. I believe you did that just barely.
Well, we can do it again,
Oh.
in case you're just coming in now. I'm Bubbles Del Fuego.
I'm Fearful Ferret.
And I'm Nubis. The
And-
runner is Oginam.
Follow him at twitch.tv/OGINAM
Subscribe.
/subscribe.
We just pulled an Azure. All right, so here
Give him money.
he's grabbing a key, which allows him to open the door, which leads to the Mirror Knight. And then he's dark signing out. Souls at this point don't matter. We don't need souls to open any doors. We don't need souls to buy anything or level up. So we just use dark sign for the rest of the game whenever we need to return to a bonfire.
The thing that differs from the first game is when you use Homer Bone or Dark Sign, you don't actually heal yourself with the bonfire. In the first game, if you used either one of those, it would act as if you had rested at the bonfire, but in this game it doesn't, so you can keep your redstone set up even after the Dark Sign.
And since he's using Red Tearstone Ring on this fight, one hit will kill him, so he needs to be pretty much perfect during this fight.
Yeah,
No pressure.
There are... This fight can be quite tricky. Some of the attacks the Mirror Knight has are very, very...
And his shield is always active, so if you hit his shield, he doesn't have to be in a blocking animation or anything. He will just block the attack and you will recoil.
The Mirror Knight is also very resistant to lightning, so he opted to use the aromatic use here instead of the Goldmine Resin.
Yeah, luckily the audio on the lightning attacks have been patched. It used to be very, very loud. Like you couldn't even change the setting to make it quiet. It was like muting the game was your only option, pretty much. That was a pretty good fight, decent RNG.
And now we continue on to the Shrine of Amano, which on its original release on console, it was much, much more difficult than it is now, but it's still a very, very dangerous area.
On the left here, he used repair powder to repair his weapon so it won't break on the next boss fight. If you don't do this, it has the potential to break on the next boss fight, and that is really bad because then it does like no damage.
You might remember this part of the game being an absolute dumpster fire.
I'm sure some people have had nightmares of this part.
It kind of still is, but after about a year, we might have found an okay strat. Like, it's still pretty easy to die here. These guys don't get staggered by water like you do,
Yeah,
and they're faster than you, and they can chain combo you, and those things can too.
This is just like the water slows you down, but the Archdrakes don't care about the water. They just swing through it and hit you. And they're
Look at how fast that guy is.
These guys have insane tracking on one of their attacks, so if you don't perfectly roll away from it, it will hit you. And it has a lingering hitbox too.
And we're just getting started.
Yeah, and that was the first part. There's a fog gate, then there's gonna be priestesses that shoot homing arrows at you, and they home really, really well. They used to home way, way better, but they got nerfed.
Yeah. Dark Souls. But you
Like,
can
ready
easily
for an
manipulate.
Each one of these would have hit him on the old patch if he didn't roll them. Like, you had to roll every single one of them, otherwise they would hit you.
And this is pretty much the one area of the game where you use audio cues to know how close the magic missile is to you, so we're just going to be talking the whole time.
We're gonna need everyone to make plenty of clapping.
No.
I'm absolutely kidding. Do not die! I'm so happy no one else clapped there, actually. This is a really good pace. Don't ruin it. Don't.
You're welcome.
Go into RTSR, it's a strat.
The hardest part is coming up right now. The fog gate there's two Archdrakes and two priestesses in front of it, and a healer. So these two have to die, otherwise you're not getting through that fog gate. And then the Archdrakes, well, you can either kill them or trick, like bait them out to so you can get through. The fog gate animation is really slow, so the safest way to do this is to kill them. But like he's going for the faster strat, and I think he's got it.
Okay.
And we're in.
Yeah, okay.
The invincibility frames on the fog gate animation starts when you begin walking forward, so long as he was standing there standing still, he could have been attacked and that would have possibly ended in death. So
This orange mist here breaks your armor and rings, so you don't want to have that happen to your important damage rings. So
right. The Flynn's ring, which he picked up from the DLC and adds damage, has very, very little durability, so I think he unequipped that so that it would not break there, and he's going to re-equip it if he did unequip it. I forgot to check if he did. Okay.
This boss, it's kind of funny looking. You might see in a second if you haven't seen this before. But it's just a big frog
yeah.
with arms.
I don't think he has any friends.
After the really tough area, they put in this boss. He usually is very hard. He hits really hard if he does hit you, but usually he won't hit you at all.
It's one of the more Japanese bosses.
It is possible to get a red tear stone set up on the mages outside just by getting hit with a few magic missiles, but that's really not marathon safe, so he did.
Yeah, you can get one attack in before his attack, and then a lot of attacks after his attack. But you cannot hit him when his face is closed like this.
It's terrible luck from the boss, but luckily he's super easy.
Yeah, he was able to get it in 2.5 cycles, but the 2 belly flops made that fight fairly slow, but there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah. And now he actually got a weapon for the rest of the run, the key to the embedded. It used to be the worst weapon in the game, then at some point they just buffed it for no reason. Like, they didn't even mention it in the patch notes, it was stealth buffed, and we didn't notice for a very long time that it was actually really good. And now it's just a really insane weapon for how easy it is to get, and you don't have to upgrade it or anything, and you can't actually upgrade it.
Right, stat-wise it's actually very similar to the rapier in that it has really high dexterity scaling, and we level up a lot of dexterity, meaning it deals a lot of damage, and it also has a lot of counter damage. So if an enemy is dealing an attack or recovering an attack, then it deals a lot of damage because of its counter.
It actually has higher counter damage radio than the rapier, which is actually really rare. The rapier is one of the best counter damage weapons, but the Git Embedded actually tops it.
I think we have time for a couple more donations.
Perfect. $25 from No Name. He says, shout out to the Rotten for his 500,000 soul donation. Let's raise our own million. Praise the run.
You started it, not me.
We have $50 from McPeanut Butter, who says, just another AGDQ without a World of Warcraft 100% run. Boo. $100 from Anonymous says, I love your stream. I'm watching it for 2 years now, and it's just getting better and better. Can we get the million?
Alright, so here he's going to grab a bonfire in the Undead Crypt. If you're going for world record attempts, you don't grab any extra bonfires, meaning that the last bonfire that he would have lit would have been back in During Castle, which is like 2 elevators and 10 minutes of walking ago. So death is completely run-breaking in world record attempts, but since this is a marathon, we're going to take a lot of extra bonfires so that if he dies, he loses 1 minute instead of 10.
Here these 2 shield dudes prove that From Software hates speedrunners, because you just can't get past them. You have to wait. And the next fog gate coming up also proves that, because Wellstart fog gate is one of the worst places in the game for speedrunning.
What will Oginam do next?
He did a...
He's gonna unlock this shortcut here just for safety. Yeah, he doesn't want to deal with the shield dudes again.
Alright, so coming up here is the Bellshot Fog Gate. First of all, if he's going to kill this Bell Ringer, if you do not kill him, then he summons a lot of Shades, which are very fast and have lots of magic attacks and make it a lot more difficult to get through the Fog Gate if you don't get it first try. There are a lot of enemies near this Fog Gate, and they cannot be distracted by the Alluring Skull, so you have to dodge all of them and not get hit as you're passing through the Fog Gate, which is quite a trick.
And they respawn, so if you're playing this casually, you have to kill them all, probably, and then go to the fog gate, or just run past them.
Very nice.
That was very good.
So this is well stud. He has a big well. He's a big guy. Counter damage destroys him completely with this weapon. Most bosses in this game have huge counter attack windows. Like you get counter damage after the attack for like a huge amount of time. So that's why the rapier and this weapon are so good.
Partway through the fight, he buffs, which increases his defense and also his attack, but he's actually not buffing here, which I'm really confused by.
He's gonna. Oh, I guess he decided not to do it.
Are we getting buffless?
We got buffless.
We got buffless.
If you can tell me how to do that, I would be very, very grateful.
Just marathon luck.
Just do it.
Got the King's Ring. No more need to be here.
Alas, nothing happened.
Yeah, that's the King's Ring. Now I can go through the King's Gates. There are 3 of them in the game, and the first one is in Aldeus, or in front of Aldeus Keep. The reason to go there first is to get the Ashen Mist Heart, which allows you to get into another area that you need to go. So that's what's gonna happen now.
All right, you have time for about 3 donations.
$50 from Mujihi says, praise the sun.
We'll do it.
There we go. There we go.
Okay.
Come on, audience. $50 from Dolphin Chemist says, gotta love Dark Souls. In the wise words of the Emerald Herald, bearer, seek lest. Yes, I spoke it too fast. Good luck with the run.
That was pretty good pace, actually.
You actually have to have the ring equipped, otherwise the door will open. Just having it on you, like in your inventory, won't help. You have to have it equipped. Go ahead with the donation.
All right, we have a $50 donation from Lava Rock says, love the speedruns. You guys and gals are working towards a great cause and you're making us gamers proud. My mother had cancer about 3 years ago and is now in remission. I hope this will help everyone conquer this terrible disease. Can't wait for this run.
Okay, there's a very small skip coming here. Well, actually 2 small skips. After this door, there's going to be a skeleton dragon. You can jump over his horn. Yeah, on the left. And after that, if you go to the middle, you can jump up a staircase that you should be able to go up.
Right, this was a trick that we learned from the Japanese run, which at least I just learned about, I think, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Nice. First try. Learned that like just a day ago.
I don't actually know if that's hard yet, so I'm impressed.
By the way, we're sitting at 150,000 viewers. So thank you all for watching.
No pressure.
$2 from each of you would put us over $1 million. Please send in your $2 for, however many dollars you want. Send in $2 or something like that. Put us over the $1 million, guys.
The next boss coming up, Guardian Dragon, used to be one of the worst bosses. He still can be very, very... Yeah, he is very random.
Let's not jinx anything.
Okay. The reason is because he can fly up and you can't hit him. And if you can't hit him, he's just gonna waste time.
That was obviously intentional damage. You can tell if you look at his stats in the top left now. He has the red Tearstone ring activated, which again gives the damage buff.
Hitting his head actually does more damage than his body.
He likes to fly.
Yeah. This is why the dragon is bad.
He's gonna heal because if he dies, he's he can take a bonfire for a little while.
Yeah, the walk back is pretty long here.
Yep. Every time he flies, it's bad.
You want stomps and bites.
Fire breath is okay too.
You don't want that.
You can't spell dragon.
Okay, now why'd you do that?
Well,
this is RNG manipulation for a certain boss to fall off a ledge in the next run. If you think RNG's bad here. With 150 viewers, I'm assuming Oginam doesn't have 150 followers, so please follow Oginam. Please.
Please.
This guy.
All right.
Nice. Finishing blow.
As I said, Guardian Dragon used to be one of the worst.
He's still
I use good language for the PG marathon. That he's not nice.
And this is an elevator, so we have to wait a while, so time for donations.
We have a $50 donation from Joe247. He said, really enjoying Oginam's DS2 run so far and can't wait to see more. I lost my mother to cancer 2 years ago after a long fight, and I can think of few better causes to support than cancer prevention and early detection. A big thank you to everyone involved, runners, commenters, organizers, viewers, and the donors. It's come together quite nicely, don't you think?
Unfortunately, you have to unlock the Praise the Sun gesture, so we don't actually get it in the speedrun, which I'm a little bit sad about. We are the Praise the Sun.
The only speedrun that gets it, that some people are actually crazy enough to do, is the all achievements speedrun. Roughly taking like what's
20 hours?
20 hours?
What? No, it's like 8 hours.
8
Okay,
hours
8
now?
hours.
Oh yeah, people like found out how to go fast. Nubis tier actually routed Dark Souls 1 all achievements as well. That was fun. Great history.
Routed.
We both ran it a couple times. That's a blast.
Alright, so coming up here is the Dragonary jump, which skips a fair amount of walking around rope bridges,
Ella discovered how to fall here.
and is rediscovering it every time.
That's how Ella does it.
That is exactly how
We're
it
just
was.
showing you, because that's why I grabbed the bonfire. Now he's going to do the Dragonary skip.
Now we're going to see the real skip.
That was just an exhibition.
Yeah, but this skip saves like 50 seconds or so. Dying takes like 30 seconds maybe, so even if you die once, it's still a time save compared to running around.
Right, and that was the first death of the run, which actually makes this a very, very good run.
Yeah.
That just like shows how jumping is bad. Earlier, that like 7 to 8 second time save on the way to the Rotten that I was talking about, if you miss that, you die. So if you, it's optimizations that get really risky in this kind of game. Ooh. There we go.
Here the game artificially slows down your walk speed as you're going across the bridge, but it doesn't slow down rolling, so you just roll across it.
It tries to make it all epic and exciting, but no.
Well, I mean, if you stand on the bridge too long, you kind of die.
Yeah, there's a cool cutscene of a dragon coming down, but there's no point.
You'd have to be slow to see that.
Oginam is too fast.
Up here there's an enemy which has kind of strange pathing AI, so if you walk a long circle around him near the edge, then he'll just walk away from the door and not attack you.
Yeah, he's just gonna run off there. He has some other things to do. Oh, wait, no. Oh.
Oh, that was so close.
He's like, wait a second, did I see someone?
And we're almost done here getting the Ashen Mist Heart, and then we can proceed to that.
Yeah, he's just gonna run up to this giant dragon and get an item and then leave, so you can read a donation.
We have $200 from Dan's Gaming. Says, it's okay to praise the sun, just be sure to wear sunscreen. There was Trip who gave $10, said $2 from each of us watching for $1 million. I can do that. The Big gave $20 and said, oops, did you say $2 or 20? I'll just do 20 to be safe. 1 million hype.
We're gonna make that million. Easy peasy.
Alright, so now we're warping to the Cardinal Tower bonfire in the forest. He has to enter the memory of Jay in order to get in order to kill the giant lord, which allows him to get Nishandra to show up in the Throne of Want. So this is the second to last thing he needs to do.
And a little preview to the any percent run. This is the first boss you fight.
You probably, I think you'll see in the any percent run the jump that Ella found.
No.
Or you
No.
won't? Okay. The jump that you can do here that can save like 5 seconds, and it's really risky. Is you can skip that door and jump from pretty much to your left. Just jump off the cliff over to this area, but it's pretty precise. So just going through the door is pretty much what everybody does.
In the 100% glitch run, we just walk out of bounds and jump down there.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty.
We found out that's a thing.
Whoa, fair.
We'll get to that.
I mean, we beat the game.
Don't tell them too much.
Okay. There are some sequence breaks in any percent glitch. I'm sorry.
You knew this was just 30 minutes faster. So he waits a little while for the fire, so he can get some better vision.
Yeah, this boss is all about knowing the attacks or seeing them coming. The camera is terrible here, so you just have to know the attacks, otherwise, well, you're toast.
Luckily, the sword's pretty good.
Yeah, the counter damage is really, really strong here.
Yeah, that was a fantastic fight. Now we're going to warp to the Throne of Want in the Dreamland Castle, and that'll be the last 2 bosses of the game.
Oh, the second King's Door was right there, by the way, and the third King's Door is coming up right now.
We have time for one more donation, I think.
Great, $100 from Ronnie. He says, a big thank you and congrats to all AGDQ speedrunners this year. Thank you all for all your dedication. May the urns never die.
Alright, so coming up here we have the last 2 boss fights of the game, Throne Watcher Defender and Nishandra. Throne Watcher Defender is probably the most difficult fight of the game because there's really no way to consistently do it. You just have to fight 2 bosses simultaneously. One has a shield, the other is fast.
They both have shields.
They both have shields?
Yeah?
It's a small shield, I forgot.
It's a shield.
I'm not going to count it either, Ferret.
All right.
I'm on your side.
Thank you.
We've all spent like many hours trying to find like a way to fight these guys, and they're just like a consistent way. When it first came out, you can like have them fall off the edge, but
Spoilers.
well, we already spoiled the shield spoiler. They have shields. My
Spoilers, there's a
experience.
boss
I was
behind
trying
that
to
fog
keep that a
gate.
surprise. You can summon the NPC to help you here, but if you have an NPC during a fight, then the bosses have more health, so he's not going to do that.
They actually don't have more health, but they take half damage.
They have double health.
They have double health. Oginam said they have double health. Then he's right.
I'm not sure. I don't agree with them.
They have quadruple health.
I don't agree with that statement.
They have infinite health. Yeah, I want to kill the smaller one first. This is all red tearstone ring strats that he's not going to use. Ah, you died.
Thanks, Bubbles.
Great. Well, that's fantastic for me. I've got plenty to read out to you. Okay, Brandon C. gave $25 and said, my last planned donation of the event. Great job to everyone involved, from the runners to the text to the volunteer and the crowd, and finally to you, reader guy. Oh, and I guess all of us fans that have contributed almost 700,000 beating cancer. Good luck on the final runs. Remember to save the animals for later as a snack. Yes! Anonymous gave $20 and said this donation is dedicated to the memory of my good friend Clay, aka Alpha Proteus, an avid Dark Souls player. He fought a valiant and courageous battle against liver cancer from ages 16 to 26. Sadly, he passed away in October 2013 before Dark Souls 2 was released, but he was super excited for the game. Rest in peace, Clay, and thanks to AGDQ for being an incredible event.
Sad gumball.
Go ahead.
All right. So during that first Throne Watcher Defender fight, he had the Bright Bug active, which increased his damage and increased his defense. But since this is Dark Souls, he no longer has the Bright Bug, so this fight is now going to be more difficult.
He has 4 resins, just used one. He's got 4 chances left, no pressure.
You got this. You got this.
Don't give us those ESA flashbacks.
Oh. Yeah, low blow.
Another thing that hasn't been mentioned yet, mainly because he's only died twice so far. Every time you die, you lose max health. So his health bar is a bit smaller. It goes down to 50% if you die 10 times. It's 5% every death.
At this point in the run, though, he's collected 2 human effigies, so he can restore that max health if he needs to.
Yeah, but for now it's not really an issue. It's only 5%. Shouldn't make a difference. This fight is going much better than the previous one before Jinx.
Alright. Now that Watcher's dead, Defender has to die as soon as possible, so
Yeah,
it doesn't revive Watcher.
Yeah, they both can revive each other after they've died, so if you just let them heal around, they will, like, they get full health.
Yeah, he's dead. His buff takes a while, so yeah.
Alright.
That's a good fight. For the final boss of the game, Deshandra, which is not really that hard. Just gotta bait out some certain attacks.
Well, she does do a lot of damage.
A lot of damage, but there's only one of her, so.
That is good. The first attack she always does is summon these curse fountains or whatever they are. They curse you and do damage to you if you're close to them.
Yeah, the easy way to manipulate this fight, as well as a lot of other boss fights in the game, is to stand away from the boss and use items. If you're standing away from the boss and using items, they're very likely to use the ranged attack, which is this laser attack she's using right now, which is by far the best attack that she can use from a speedrunning perspective. So he's going to be using life gems while away from her to bait out that attack. And also negate the damage that he's getting from these cursors. Nice dodge.
And as you can see, the fountains curse him all the way down to 50% health, so he has no health now.
Oh, didn't go for it.
Alright.
Yeah, she's dead. Get ready on time.
Yeah, time's coming up in like 10 seconds.
When the cutscene begins.
Yeah, when the cutscene starts.
Oginam, you call it so it's not super confusing and loud. Really good time, yeah.
Yep.
With only 2 deaths, that's like pretty good.
Yeah.
Wow, what a fantastic run. Thank you again for running this, Oginam. We're really happy to see this. However, up next, we do have a bit more.
Nubis.
We have that guy. Nubist is running a very broken category for this. It's
This is more than this is broken. This is like destroyed.
For real.
This is like a 5-year-old pick up your favorite Lego car as a kid and just threw it against a wall.
so remember to play with your Legos, kids. Just like Nubis,
This
I
is
guess.
if Nukas played with your Legos.
I'm just gonna take this off for now.
Meanwhile, I have some donations to read. I have too many donations to read. Okay. So, just so you know, we're not reading them all, but we are getting them. Trust me, like, look at the counter now. We were under $700,000 now. We're now at $715,000. So, hopefully, we're going to make it to our goal this year. $25 from XAII. He says, hello, AGDQ 2015. What an amazing marathon it has been thus far. We still have some awesome games left. Been watching AGDQ marathon since 2011, and every year has been better than the previous. Thanks for all these amazing years thus far. P.S. Kill the animals hype. $50 from Justin21 said, had to donate during the Dark Souls 2 run. The Souls games are my favorite series and my anticipation for Bloodborne is unreal. Happy to give my $50 to support a great cause and an awesome run. Praise the sun. Valiant Gamer gave $25 and said, this is for all the people out there who are struggling with cancer or have family who are. My Nana was diagnosed with colon cancer twice in her life, and she beat it both times and is still alive and kicking. Just remember there's always hope, and it's thanks to charities like Prevents Cancer Foundation that make it possible. We have Alan E., who gave $100 and said, heart. I think we found a new romance for you, AGDQ Marathon, okay? Or the monitor, GDQ Marathon. Yeah, that thing. Screen. Yeah. $50 from the Black Cat. He says, hurrah, Dark Souls 2 has been one of the games I've been looking forward to the most. Best of luck with the runs, and hopefully you don't get trolled by just about everything, like I usually am whenever I play the game. We have $25 from Anonymous, who says, praise AGDQ. Burned Head gave $100 and said, I respect everyone's love of animals, but in the spirit of competition, I must donate to kill them. Pajarna gave $50 and said, splendid. We have $25 from Dark Fowls. He says, I've watched every AGDQ. This is my second time donating for this set. Cancer sucks and needs to be eliminated. Thank you to all the runners. Awesome job, Oginam. P.S. Praise the sun. Oh, I like this one. Asterisk gave $100 and said, with all the pine resin being used, you may as well call this a Spark Souls speedrun. Go ahead and groan, guys. It's okay. Sarkson88 gave $50 and said, what is bravery without a dash of recklessness? Thanks to everyone for being reckless for such a great cause. My grandpa died to cancer, and although he never played video games, I'm sure he would be thankful for all the generosity AGDQ fosters. Thanks, guys. $40 from Noise Queen 2000 said, it's crazy to watch someone beat Dark Souls so quickly. Took me months to do this. We have $100 from Moshigan, who says, I lost my father to stomach cancer, which was so widely spread in his intestines there was literally nothing to do. My mother also had an ovary tumor, which was fortunately possible to remove, and she's doing fine. This is the first time I heard about this event, and I've been captivated by the amazing talentry of the runners and amazed by the goodwill of the community. My absolute favorites have been the Yoshi's Island race, A Link to the Past run, and this Dark Souls 2 run. Great job. 1 million soul memory, $1 million. Let's make it happen, everyone. Oh, as a reminder, I've seen this pop up a few times. We still haven't met the Melee donation incentive, I believe. I believe we're still a little ways away from that. So if you would like to see some Smash Brothers on stream, we have almost 10,000 to go. So feel free to put it there. $15 from Doe Crate 1 says, thanks for this great marathon and these awesome runs, and Mr. MV's great restream. Don't forget, praise the sun. Miss Dragon 01 gave $100 and said, humble bunny hype. Please put my donation towards naming Aerith Sean Bean. Puexel is coming. Sean Bean. $100 from Istaroon, who says, this past summer, my good friend Lynn took extra time for an early exam, and it may have saved her life. She's only in her 20s, but needed a full mastectomy to assure her safety. $100 during one of her favorite games, and in her honor, let's take a little extra time to save the animals. Lex gave $100 and said, praise the sun, 1 million hype. $50 from Ira and Netherwolf. They say donating again, peer pressure. Gotta make that million. Oh, this is the kind of peer pressure you want, though, people, okay? They teach you in school, don't give in to peer pressure, but this one's okay. Donate. Go ahead. Give some money to cancer charity. We're going to make the $1 million tonight. We're hoping. So please, please keep them coming in.